Pellagra may sound like a relic from the dusty pages of medical history, but vitamin B3 deficiency is far from obsolete. In fact, in specific populations and under certain conditions, pellagra and its symptoms remain a real and dangerous threat. While full-blown pellagra is rare in developed nations, the underlying risk factors for niacin deficiency, poor diet, chronic illness, malabsorption, and substance abuse, are still very much present. Understanding how and why vitamin B3 deficiency occurs isn't just an academic exercise, it's a public health necessity. At its core, pellagra is a condition that arises from a significant deficiency in niacin, vitamin B3, or tryptophan, the amino acid your body can use to make niacin if needed. Without enough niacin, your cells struggle to produce NAD and NADP, two coenzymes essential for energy production, DNA repair, and cellular communication. When these processes fail, especially in high-demand tissues like the skin, gastrointestinal tract, and brain, the results are dramatic and distressing. The classic symptoms of pellagra are known as the 3Ds: dermatitis, diarrhea, and dementia. If left untreated, the condition progresses to a fourth D, death. The dermatitis typically appears in sun-exposed areas, forming rough, red, and scaly patches that resemble severe sunburn. This skin reaction is one of the earliest warning signs and often misdiagnosed as eczema or a photosensitivity disorder. The diarrhea comes from inflammation and breakdown of the intestinal lining, which not only causes painful digestive issues, but also worsens malnutrition by impairing nutrient absorption further. As the brain becomes deprived of the niacin it needs to function, neurological symptoms appear, ranging from brain fog and irritability to full-blown psychosis and memory loss. This is not just dry textbook theory, it's a serious, progressive condition that can be fatal if not corrected. The question is, why does pellagra still matter today? Because while it might not show up in its textbook form often, subclinical niacin deficiency, the kind that simmers beneath the surface, still affects vulnerable populations and can contribute to chronic fatigue, poor concentration, skin issues, and mood disturbances. Certain groups remain at high risk and must stay vigilant. Chronic alcoholics are among the most susceptible. Alcohol interferes with the absorption of niacin and other B vitamins and impairs the liver's ability to convert tryptophan into niacin. Alcoholism also often goes hand in hand with poor dietary habits, which compounds the risk. Someone may be calorically satisfied, but severely nutritionally starved. Over time, this can lead to a slow erosion of niacin reserves and the onset of deficiency symptoms that are too often blamed on withdrawal, mental illness, or liver damage, when the root cause could also be nutritional. People with digestive disorders, including Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, chronic diarrhea, or celiac disease, are also highly vulnerable. Their intestines are often inflamed or damaged, which reduces the absorption of key nutrients, including niacin. Even if they eat enough B3-rich foods, their bodies may struggle to utilize it. Those who've had bariatric surgery or deal with chronic pancreatitis may also be at risk for similar reasons. Another overlooked population is the malnourished or impoverished, especially those relying heavily on corn-based diets without proper nixtamalization, a traditional process that makes niacin bioavailable. This is still an issue in parts of Central and South America, Sub-Saharan Africa, and refugee populations dependent on limited food aid. Even in wealthier countries, food insecurity can lead people to eat calorie-dense but nutrient-poor diets, filling their stomachs while starving their cells. Processed foods rarely contain enough niacin or other B vitamins to meet daily needs unless they're fortified, and not all forms of fortification are well absorbed. There are also cases of genetic disorders like heart-nut disease, which impairs the absorption of tryptophan, effectively reducing the body's ability to synthesize niacin. And certain medications, such as isoniazid for tuberculosis, chemotherapy drugs, and immunosuppressants, can interfere with niacin metabolism and increase the risk of deficiency. The good news is that niacin deficiency is highly preventable and treatable. Fortified grains, lean meats, fish, legumes, and peanuts provide ample niacin for most people when included regularly in the diet. For those at risk, especially individuals with chronic illness or limited food access, multivitamin supplementation or targeted B3 therapy can restore levels rapidly and reverse symptoms. In clinical cases of pellagra, treatment with nicotinamide, a non-flushing form of B3, can bring dramatic improvement within days to weeks. But the challenge lies in recognition. Niacin deficiency is often misdiagnosed or overlooked entirely because its symptoms overlap with so many other conditions. Fatigue, anxiety, digestive problems, brain fog, and skin irritation can stem from many sources. This is where healthcare providers and public health systems must stay informed and vigilant, especially when working with high-risk populations. In short, while pellagra may no longer dominate medical journals, the conditions that allow niacin deficiency to occur still persist, and in many communities, they are even growing. Food insecurity, chronic illness, alcohol abuse, and unbalanced diets all pose ongoing risks. Niacin remains one of the most essential, yet underappreciated, vitamins in protecting not just metabolic health, but neurological function, skin integrity, and life itself. Pellagra may be a disease of the past, but niacin deficiency, in all its modern forms, is a concern that very much belongs to the present.